Today, we're going to continue giving the middle finger to the double mug meta by showing you guys some stuff that a lot of players in this defense don't want you to know. We're going to stress them on a level that they're going to have to go to base align, which makes the blitz not work anymore. And honestly, base align as a whole cannot save them. So let's go ahead and get right into it. We're going to be in the Seattle Seahawks offense today, bunch tight end. This is my favorite offense in the game. You guys can check out my entire offensive system over on gridirongameplans.gg. Now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about how this blitz obviously is set up. We've done some blocking formulas this week. We've done a lot of stuff this week on beating the double mug, but just as a refresher, most players, when they come out in their mid blitz, they're going to stand in a gap with their user. All we have to do to block this is block the running back, half slide away from the running back, and ID the mic on the user. In practice mode, when the ID the mic logo disappears, that means that it works. When you pull up your block targeting, you'll see that the offensive linemen are blocking the 4 middle rushers, and there's a flame logo over the right side. That's okay, because the running back is not going to need to block the user because he's going to be in coverage. This will then allow you to snap the football. He'll turn and block the edge, and then from there, this play to me is one of the best, if not the best, passing play in the game. This is known as whips. It's an absolute killer against both man and zone. So that's our starting point. Now, obviously with this is a great man beating play. We're going to talk a little bit about, in general, what players like to do to kind of hide their intent. Now, there will be 2 types of players. The first player is going to always call mid blitz, and they are just going to basically turn this into a zone. Every single time they're going to go out and they're going to zone out every single person except for the middle 4 rushers, which would be Garrett, Fred, Chancellor, Parsons. A lot of them will either user a pass rusher and switch stick off of them in coverage, or they will take one of their linebackers and stand in the gap if they're in the 2-4, or they will take one of their coverage players and stand in the middle as well. Again, our blocking formula is going to be the same. We are going to block the running back, half slide away from the running back, ID the user. So once that mic disappears, you know that it's on Sertan. And with this play, maybe we set up a little bit of a different route combo this time. I'm still a big fan of my whips, so I'm going to snap the football and I'm going to throw the one underneath and make a conservative catch. Obviously, if you want to hold the ball, set up a 1-play touchdown beater, that's fine. But we're going to get to some really glitchy stuff here in a second. Now, the thing about the mid blitz and the reason so many players will go ahead and zone out everybody is they want to give you the illusion that you're in cover 0. With mid blitz being a cover 0 based play and there being no shell feature at the play call menu, this will only give cover 0 motion principles, which we're going to get to momentarily, but you guys can set up zone beaters as well. Now, the other play that a lot of players like to run with this is also going to be the cover 3 blitz that is known as nickel dog free buzz. Now, the problem with this play is that there are seam flats, and there's a lot of issues with seam flats in this game. And honestly, by the time you actually go through making this play work, you actually have to do just as many steps as mid blitz. So a lot of players will just stay in mid blitz. So this is where today's tip is going to get really, really nasty. And as I just mentioned, with this particular play, with it having man-to-man principles and with most players actually just zoning out the entire defense, this is going to be something that you guys can use to really give your opponents trouble. So I've got this defense zoned out. I'm going to come down, turn this into a cover 2. Now, you remember I said that this defense plays that cover 0 principle, meaning that from a stock standpoint, Richard Sherman, who's now in that left cloud flap, was supposed to be, if I had not made those adjustments, guarding Rome Odunze. If I motion Rome Odunze, he still keeps those rules, meaning that in this situation, we have the ability to set up and I would have snapped the ball already by this point, but we have the ability to motion snaps. That way your zone is now on the wrong side of the field and throw hot to a corner route that we custom stem down. Let's take, for instance, like a hybrid version of this defense, maybe a cover 3 or some sort of hybrid coverage in which Richard Sherman is now a deep zone. Again, with this particular defense, all you have to do is if you know they're in mid blitz as their base, they're dead. They cannot run this. So all we're gonna do is motion Odunze across, so Sherman follows, snapping the ball, and then you're just gonna throw the ball to your corner route because it doesn't matter whether he was in a zone drop cloud or a deep zone of any type. he's not over there any longer. Now, the only way that your opponent is going to be able to counter this is, now before I tell you, make sure you guys are subscribed right here to the Zan Madden YouTube channel. I'm dropping content Monday through Friday in the mornings with fire like this to keep you on top of the metas and how to beat it very easily. And then we have shorts in the afternoon, little one-play touchdown formulas, blitz setups, blocking formulas, anything that you guys might need to just help kind of accentuate your scheme a little bit. I've got you in the afternoons with those. And as I've mentioned already, check out my strategy website, gridirongameplans.gg. If you like this video, you guys will like the rest of my bunch tight end offense, as well as some of the other content exclusive in our vault for our paid members. Make sure you guys hop in our Discord as well. We just had an amazing lab session last night during the MCS, watching the pros go at it and what they were doing, how to counter it. So make sure you guys are taking advantage of the Discord access as well. Now, the only way that players will typically work to try to fix this is they're going to go to base align. And there are two things wrong with base align. If you're in mid blitz, it really doesn't matter. And two, the mid blitz blitz angles no longer work the same way when your opponent base aligns. So take a look right here. See how the defensive tackles, when I crash my defensive line down, are going into the B gap? But when baseline is off, you'll notice that the crash down puts them in the A gap. This A gap blitz angle by the D tackles is the big deal when it comes to this particular blitz. So now, in order to prevent this little motion from causing the guy to trail, they have to sacrifice their blitz setup. And the truth is, once you do that, I don't have to do anything against this blitz. If I block the running back and I pull up my blocking formula, yes, it shows him on the middle linebacker. All you have to do is half slide and still go ahead and just like ID on the edge. And you're going to be fine. So now at this point, you're in a spot where your guys are no longer in, a great leverage position. So you could go ahead and put, like a quick in breaking route to a Dunze, whatever it is you need to do. And you're going to be able to snap this ball and have these free run releases where they're just so misaligned being in this base align setting that they're in a lot of trouble. So utilizing this tactic out of bunch formations against the mid blitz meta is a great way to force your opponent to have to either sit in mid blitz or to base align their defense altogether, which screws up their blitz, or to have to run the cover 3 version of this blitz, which honestly is not that good due to a seam flat zone bug that a lot of times players are going to struggle with, and having to change everyone on the field's coverage. At that point, you're just better off served playing in mid blitz, which, as I've just shown you, is very easily beaten by this motion tactic. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you guys give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, this is Zan. Get the lab and good luck.